Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle and I have a special versus review for you. Here we have Action Master Optimus Prime, 100% complete, original G1, and we're putting him up against the Microman L20 Edison with trailer set, which basically is the same thing, only a little different. So we're gonna go through these guys and we're gonna talk about what you can do with them and see if these guys are right for your collection, and you get to decide which one is better. Be right back. So the Action Masters came out near the end of the G1 line and kind of spelled the doom of the line as well, because they were Transformers that didn't transform. So here we have Optimus Prime as a figure. I mean, this is an original G1. It's been repaired. So like the hip, he had to have a hip replacement. But generally, when he came out, people were not as thrilled with the Action Masters. Still, there's some pretty valuable ones out there, and there's some European ones that are really cool. Now, they did reissue a version of this Action Master figure without all the accoutrement, and they put it within the New Year's Eve reissue of Optimus Prime, which was a G1 reissue, and it had extra stuff, including a Matrix and an Action Master figure, though the coloration was a little bit different. His joints are not as tight as they once were, and though it was an action figure, really it had very limited mobility. You could turn the head around, you could move the arms back and forth, the legs could go forward. Can't really do a Jean-Claude Van Damme with this, though you can do a full split. But they were trying to basically compete in the action figure market. And while the actual Transformers didn't transform, squeaky wheels, they did come with either vehicles or accessories or something that transformed. And Optimus came with a tractor trailer, a cab with weapons, and a trailer that did all kinds of stuff. We're gonna compare this to the Microman version, which, while the figure is different, the accessories are the same. But let's take a look at what this baby could do. First of all, you have the cab of the trailer itself. It could roll, and it had a weapon here you could also take off and put into little Optimus's hand, so he had some kind of rifle. It also had these two smokestacks, which could lean forward and be some kind of weapon. But this could actually transform. One, you could flip out the nose cone, it could become kind of a battering ram. You could put up the wings in the back and they could kind of have protection for, I guess, people hiding inside, though no place for them to stand. And you could also flip down the wings and pull back the cab and set up Optimus as flying a jet. Now, while they were obviously competing with action figures, they were also kind of competing with Mask at the same time. Mask was a pretty cool cartoon and toy line where the vehicles would transform into other vehicles. There was a motorcycle that became a helicopter, there was a car that became a jet, you know, things that became submarine. It was pretty cool. So he has this flying battle platform that he could use to basically strafe and attack the Decepticons from above or meet them in the air. So a pretty cool battle platform, and it also had pegs where you could stand other Action Master Autobots and have him convoy him, form a convoy. He could bring them into battle too, so. And then there was the rest of the trailer, which became quite the battle station. It had this huge honkin' cannon, so as he's driving along, he could break that out. It had guns on the side, guns on the top, but it also became an actual base. You could maneuver the guns around, you could pop off the doors accidentally. They did pop off on occasion. You have seats back here for other Action Masters. You have this, again, big honkin' cannon, and you have this wall, double wall thing that other Action Masters could hide behind, and these could also fire out. They could be gunners. On the back of the trailer, it had a couple pegs. Now, you may see a little dust on this thing. I've had it for years, and it got a little dusty. I tried to clean it off, but all these grooves makes it hard. So, I mean, the Action Master line, while ultimately unsuccessful in keeping the Transformers going, which is why they switched over to Generation 2, not your father's Autobot, You know, a lot of people think it's basically a shitty line because you have Transformers that don't transform. And the Devastator is like the same size as Optimus Prime, so really? But kind of like the reaction action figures, you could have these guys. Now, you would think that would be the end of it, but then Microman came out. So, Microman figures, they came out in, I think, the late 90s, I think this one was like 2001 that it came out. And the little Microman figures were pretty posable. They could bend at the knee. They could actually kind of do a split, but not fully outward like Jean-Claude Van Damme. But very posable figures. They have these backpacks. I believe the battery is dead on here, but it could plug in and you could light it up and they would glow a little bit. I believe this guy is called Edison. I'm not a big Microman, Micronauts guy, but pretty sturdy figure. And then they gave him the exact same thing. Now, what's neat about this is it has all the accessories, so you could use this with your Action Masters if you have some. And again, change this into a jet. I mean, I have to hand it to Takara. It was a way to take something that wasn't the best toy. I mean, I have it, so obviously there's some value into having another G1 Optimus Prime, but taking what was not the best toy at the time and reusing that mold so you could have a Microman flying around and shooting his enemies from the sky. Now, it does concern me that some of these accessories are gold plastic, but thus far, knock on Formica, they have not broken. And what's neat about the Microman one is a lot of the plastic is actually translucent or clear green. And the weapons actually have some additional paint detailing, which the original Transformer one did not have. But again, the exact same setup. You can sit some Action Masters or Microman figures in here, and they could be gunners. You could have them hiding behind the walls. It's a neat idea, neat concept. Now it's interesting, the wheels on the back, they don't go round and round on either of these. The ones that actually pop out are only for show. They're snapped on here, they won't turn. The other wheels though do turn. So these are slightly raised above so you can still push it and it's not dragging your trailer around or dragging your car around. No, that's Weird Al. But it's a cool set. Again, it has a lot of play value if you have Action Masters, or even just use it with your basics. You might be able to put some basic Transformers standing back here, and it could be quite the base. Now, the detailing, again, on the Microman one is a little bit different, as you can see with the stickers, or, well, actually, there's stickers on the G1, and there are paint applications, and definitely has more colors and more detailing. But this is Optimus Prime. I mean, how do you beat Optimus Prime? But that's not for me to decide. These two are facing off against each other. I think it'd be really neat to take a very small Ultra Magnus and put him in here, only it would be nicer if the detailing on this was blue and not green. Or if you found some kind of, I don't know, mini Nova Prime or anybody actually to take this out of the Microman universe and move it into the Transformers universe. But they're nearly identical with accessories. The figures are the only difference. And are these sets worth having? I think so. Which one is better? Well, you decide. Let me know in the comments below which color scheme you like better, which detailing you like better, or if you're as worried about the gold plastic as I am. I mean, even on this gun, see detailing on the top, which is lacking on the original Optimus Prime version. So, extra detailing, translucent plastic, or original. Which you like better? Let me know. And while you're debating that, there's some other videos you can check out over here. You can subscribe down there. You can also, if you'd like to support this channel, it'd be great if you'd give us a super thanks. And again, comments, share, like, all that stuff would be great. We'll see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.